Hey guys, how's it going? It's me here, and I'm here to review the movie 10 Cloverfield Lane. For those of you who don't know, it's basically a spin-off of the movie Cloverfield. It's a found-footage monster movie released in 2008. A really good movie that was. I really liked it. Some people didn't, and I can see why, because the characters were a little annoying, and it might have been a little annoying with the found-footage format, but I really liked the movie. But anyway, I need to get to this movie now. So, before you go into this movie, you need to know, for those of you who've seen Cloverfield, this is like a completely separate movie. It has very little tying into the first Cloverfield. So if you're expecting like a Cloverfield sequel, you might be disappointed by this. Just when you go into this movie, I want you to expect a thriller. That's it. Just a thriller. Nothing more. But anyway, I should start reviewing this. First off, the performances in the movie. They're great. There's basically like three actors. Okay, there's like a little more than three actors, but there's three main actors, and they are in most of the movie. There's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She gives a great performance in this movie. She's really believable. She's really smart as well, which isn't something you get a lot in horror movies for the main female lead. Usually they're not that smart, and you're always yelling at the screen for them to do something. This time, she is ahead of the audience, and that's great. Then there's John Goodman. He probably steals the show of the movie, because he is a really interesting character, and the way he plays the character is great, because you never really know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. Like at times you think he's good, other times you think he's bad, and this just keeps going all around the place. You just never know which it is, and even by the end you don't know. And then there's John Gallagher Jr. He's more of a third wheel sometimes, but overall he does give a good performance in the movie, and I did like his character. Also, one thing that a lot of people didn't touch on about the movie in the reviews I checked on YouTube was the dialogue. Because this movie is partly written by Damien Chazelle, who did Whiplash, and I could tell in the dialogue scenes, because the dialogue did have that Whiplash thing to it, where it just sounded like the same person wrote it, which makes sense. And the dialogue was great in the movie. It was really interesting without giving away too much about it. It was building up to something bigger. I really loved the dialogue. Also, I have to touch on the directing, because this is from director Dan Trachtenberg, and this is his first movie, and it's a great first start. He's great. He gives a great direction to this movie. I mean, just in terms of how it's shot and the way everything's placed around and all, I loved it. He doesn't feel like a first-time director. He feels like he's ready for all this. He can do it already. He's a lot better than most directors who have worked on movies for much longer. Zack Snyder. Anyway, so yeah, he's great. I can't wait to see what he does later on in his career. Also, and what else do I have to say? Well, I have to touch on the third act. The third act is very different from the first two, and that might disappoint some people because it might not feel as cohesive for them. But in my opinion, it's a great third act. It really shows off the movie's budget, which is pretty small, but you do see it in full effect by the third act. And it's really exciting as well. Visually stunning. I really love the third act. It is different from the first two acts, but it's still really good. And that's basically it. It's okay. One last thing. It is really, really exciting. This is a really exciting movie. I could hardly catch my breath at any time, because there was always these sort of things I'm just worried about, like, oh man. Like, you just never know whether some characters are going to survive or not. Then there are big twists in the plot. It's a really great script. I loved it. Yeah, I just love the way it goes in this movie. It's really well paced. It all fits in together. The twists come out of nowhere, but they make sense. It's a great movie. I don't think it answers every question by the end of the movie, but I don't think it should, because it makes you want to see more from all of this, and so I really love that. And for all those reasons, I can't think of any particular negatives about the movie, so I have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's a great movie. You should definitely go and watch this. It's totally worth your time and money. Okay, so that's all I have to say for this movie. I'm about to put up like 2 movies onto my channel soon. I hope you look forward to those. I had a lot of fun making them. One of them was something that I took off of YouTube before. Well, kind of. basically some people took it off because it had copyright in it, so I was able to fix those problems now, and I should be able to put it up soon. So look forward to that. And as always, you don't have to go while you got Timo.